list can actually counter it. I'm looking forward to seeing how this will play out, because this is going to be wild.
All right, we've had a great round last round. Let's get another one. Round number 13. Marshall and Paul are in the booth to take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Welcome back to the booth here at Pro Tour Marvel Superheroes. Marshall Sutcliffe with Paul Cheon. And we are in the modern rounds now, Paul, where we get a spicy matchup that they just outlined for us at the news desk. We've got Maxime Rayvich on Living End up against Yimin Zhi on Espergorios.
Yeah, really interesting matchup here. Living End, of course, getting Violent Outburst back. And I remember when that was first announced, the unbanning of Violent Outburst, people were going a little bit nuts. People were going, you can't do that. That card is far too strong. And then people got to play with, and it turns out the format has been entirely prepared for the card, and it really hasn't been putting up the results that people expected. But Maxime, of course, having a pretty good tournament with the deck right now. But you know, because Consigned to Memory is such a heavily played card and it counters the Cascade triggers, you know, you're going to be having a tough time when you go against the blue decks.
Both of our players coming into the round are 9 and 3, so very solid records, but not a ton of wiggle room. If they got their eye on that top 8, they're going to need to really stay dialed in here for this next stretch. So far, not a ton of action, though we do see a Thoughtseize now from Zhi. He's going to take a look at what's going on here for Rayvich.
Yeah, likely taking, oh wow, 2 Cascade cards there in the Outburst and the Shardless Agent.
And you see the Generous Ents.
Right.
Which
gets you the
are going to end up in the yard anyway.
Right, right. And of course, really works well with the Cascade card. So, you know, it's kind of tough because there's a bit of redundancy built into this hand. Certainly, you could maybe try to get lucky and take one of the Generous Ents, and then Maxime might have to top deck a 3rd mana source. Or actually taking the Endurance here, because this gives Zhi an opportunity to find, for example, a Traxa or Gristlebrand that he can draw off the top. And if he gets out a turn 2 Psychic Frog, now Maxime can't respond with an Endurance to exile the large creatures out of the graveyard. But nice hand for Maxime. Kind of has everything you want. You even got that Street Wraith. I mean, you already have 3 monsters in the graveyard. You're going to get 1 more with that 2nd copy of the Generous Ent. Oh, maybe even an additional one with the Hedge Maze, which gives you, of course, that Surveil. Now, it will be interesting to see how Maxime stacks. If Maxime decides to go for the Generous Ent first before running out the Hedge Maze, because of course you get that Surveil from the land. That is a
man. That is so many creatures in the yard off of 1 mana. I mean, he did get a little help there.
Yeah, absolutely. And
but still,
it's one of those situations. You get that extra bit of redundancy. Now you have the 8 Cascade effects in the deck here, and yeah, Maxime choosing to get the land here first with the Generous Ent. Good sequencing into the Hedge Maze, and you know, if he does manage to resolve the Shardless Agent here, we're talking about, what, 16 damage at least coming out of the graveyard?
Wow.
So Zhi taking the Endurance here, which means now if he top decks something like a Thoughtseize or another hand disruption spell, it's not going to be enough here, given that there are 2 Cascade cards here. Zhi would love to find a Consigned to Memory, but he only has 1 copy of that in the main, I believe.
Okay, he did end up surveilling into the graveyard, but it was not an additional creature.
Right.
13?
Thundering Falls, but that's fine.
All right, Psychic Frog here, but
wow, that feels fair, doesn't it?
Right, but no big creature here to play. Zhi did find a Force of Negation, though, so if Maxime goes for the effect on his turn, then he can use the Force of Negation and exile that Faithful Mending to counter the Living End. So if you're on Maxime's side, if you want to play around a Force of Negation, what you can do is play a land, and on Zhi's upkeep, before he gets to the 3rd mana, run out that Violent Outburst.
16?
and make it so that Zhi can't get that force of negation into play. Certainly something that Maxime will be considering here. Also just hoping that Zhi doesn't have an Atraxa to kind of discard and put into the graveyard here.
Exactly. So funny.
Yeah, right?
Just,
this is tricky.
It's so backwards
Okay.
from how things normally go. Oh, he's going to
Well,
let him draw.
No upkeep, so now has that flooded strand here. I guess he's okay with it getting countered because he can go Violent Outburst end of turn. If you counter it, then on my turn I can still play Shardless Agent. Zhi drawing Quantum Riddler. Not quite enough. I mean, I suppose you do have Quantum Riddler plus Ephemerate here as a combination. But Maxime's hand looking very, very strong here. Even has Subtlety and Sink into Stupor to counter the Quantum Riddler, actually. Maxime now has to decide whether or not he wants to just run out a Living End here, just so that Zhi doesn't draw a card here off the Psychic Frog, but might just choose to take the one here.
Wow, he's really delaying here. Let him hit his draw step. Now he's letting the frog hit him. That's going to be another card in the hand here for
Right.
Zhi.
Yeah, if Zhi can draw another Force of Negation, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, or as you mentioned,
The Consign.
right.
Oh, just a Hedge Mace.
Well, Maxime's committed to this line. Now the assumption would be that he tests the waters.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is you can't just let Psychic Frog hit you every single turn, right? You
Right.
kind of need to get something going. I suppose, alternatively, you can run out Sink into Stupor to try to bounce the Psychic Frog to see if Zhi will respond and discard a big creature. That's another thing to consider, but it looks like he's got the Violent Outburst lined up here.
Cascade trigger, and here we
Yeah.
go.
All right. And this will certainly meet a counter spell.
How lucky.
Yep. Fetching off the Flooded Strand here. Has the ability, of course, to just hard cast the Force of Negation. Can also exile and then maybe try to hit something else off of a Faithful Mending. But if you did that, you would have to exile the Quantum Riddler out of your hand. But Zhi, of course, knows that Maxime has Shardless Agent in hand here. It's a lot of... So there's 4 creatures in the graveyard there that would be coming in. Street Wraith, of course, with Swamp Walk, which is actually relevant here.
That's funny.
Yeah. There is the Force.
Force of negation. If you're Maxime, you have to say, what are you targeting?
Yeah. Would you like to counter my do nothing pump spell or
Maybe
my namesake?
the game winner.
Right.
Okay, so does he just go for it here?
I mean, you're
What
kind
else
of
are you doing?
you're kind of setting up for it, so yeah,
Right.
he simply has to. Does he have another Surveil land in his list? Might choose to surveil another creature potentially into the
He
graveyard.
didn't do so.
All right, not going for it here.
But here we go.
All right. I mean, this is gonna hit. This will resolve. But Zhi can discard Quantum Riddler here, right, to the Psychic Frog, and at least that would come onto the battlefield. But it might not be enough here.
He's going to hold priority and go for the Scalding Tarn now, it looks like.
Oh, Living End on the stack.
Yes.
Sure.
That's good, clean communication there from Maxime.
And then there's a Commercial District still in the deck here. So Hedge Maze and Commercial District go down to 14. Surveil, try to hit another monster to put into the graveyard.
But Living End is on the stack here.
Yeah.
This is what we came to see.
Right, absolutely.
And it's not going to get countered.
Now the question is...
But that's just Steam Vents.
Oh, that's just Steam Vents. Okay.
Maybe he didn't have another Surveil left over?
Perhaps not.
All right. Well, either way,
Yeah.
before Living End resolves, Yimin Zhi has a response as well.
I would like to put a creature into my graveyard here.
Yeah, this is kind of in the middle, right?
Yeah.
You know, Maxime wouldn't want to see a Quantum Riddler, but he really wouldn't want to see
Yeah, but it's not an Atraxa.
an Atraxa.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and not much Maxime can do here. Subtlety just counter spells that are on the stack and not creatures that are in play. Yeah, and Zhi actually going and discarding down to 1 card here so that once Quantum Riddler enters the battlefield, you get
Oh.
to draw 2 cards here. Might just keep the Ephemerate in hand.
Of course, the frog
Right.
does end up going away.
Right. And
3
now-
triggers, endurance, and some life gain,
Yeah.
or some food.
You
I
get
should
some
say.
food tokens, and now
Yeah.
you get to shuffle everything back into the library here. And Zhi will get 2 fresh cards off the Quantum Riddler, but this is a good amount of damage coming in, and Zhi's already down to 12 life here, just from all the damage he's been taking from casting his spells.
And you can see why he's taking such a risky line, effectively
Right.
discarding his whole hand here.
Yeah, he kind of needs to try to get a Goryo's Vengeance Atraxa going to
like,
kind of come
really
back,
quickly.
right?
Yeah.
Psychic Frog, discard, Goryo's Vengeance, something like that. Perhaps Solitude Ephemerate as well. That would also be quite strong here.
Start cleaning up the mess.
Got to look at a bunch of cards, but needs a really explosive turn here. 18 damage coming in. And I do see a Psychic Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know that I see an Atraxa and a Goryo's Vengeance. Yep, that one's unblockable.
Yeah, just even more annoyance here for Yimin Zhi.
Yeah, and this is one of those spots where you could even just cast Violent Outburst and not cast Living End.
Wow,
If-
Solitude Ephemerate.
Oh, okay, but doesn't have another white card.
Oh, he can't
to
cast the
exile.
Solitude.
Yeah, so if the Psychic Frog or the Flooded Strand was just another white card, that certainly would have been awesome here. So he can Solitude something and play a Psychic Frog, and that's basically his only line here.
And then survive
Right.
would be the idea.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen this potent two-card combo a lot already
Absolutely.
this tournament. But will it be enough to get Yimin Zhi out of this mess?
Yeah, I mean, if Maxime can't find a way to get the Quantum Riddler off the battlefield with the Psychic Frog, you do get kind of extra looks here. Maxime does have a Sink into Stupor that he can use to, of course, bounce a creature, perhaps a Quantum Riddler. Oh, he's just going for the Ephemerate here on the Riddler. Okay, sure. Draw 2 cards.
Yeah, perhaps looking for a white card for Solitude. Bad
Right.
news for Zhi here is that there is subtlety on the other side here for Maxime, right?
Yeah, if Zhi waits, found a Goryo's Vengeance, but does not have a big legendary creature in the graveyard. And just an Archaeologist, so
Yeah.
actually nothing, can't even get the Solitude in play here.
Yeah, I think it's looking really good for Maxime Rayvich.
Yeah,
Oliphant was the draw.
couple of mana short of casting that.
Draw and floating. Yeah.
All right.
So can he go for the Sink into Stupor and just kind of go for it here?
Yeah, I mean, certainly could here, especially because the Ephemerate's rebounded. So you can cast that again on the Quantum Riddler. So you might want to just bounce the Quantum Riddler here. The issue is you can't actually subtlety it back when Zhi tries to replay it here. But you do get to get in for a lot of damage.
And can you even force a chump with the frog here?
Right, so if
I mean,
you-
he's attacking for 8.
So if you bounce the Riddler and you block the Ent, that's 8, 11, 13 damage coming in.
That's game.
Yeah, but actually looking like not going for it here and just attacking with the giant creatures here.
He's leaving Endurance and Shardless Agent back.
Okay.
There is a swamp on the other side, so the Street Wraith is
Right.
freebie.
So this is just 8 damage coming in. This would put Zhi down to 4. And then I would fully expect Zhi to go down to 1 card here again. so that you can get the additional cards here off the Quantum Riddler. Now the question is, now there are 2 food tokens on Maxime's side and the Endurance, which does have reach. So, you know, if you're perhaps looking to try to do some math to see if there's a weird kill with Psychic Frog and Quantum Riddler, it would probably have to happen over the course of a 2-turn cycle here. Yeah, so we got the Solitude. You get some extra draws here off the Riddler. You do get some decent blocks here, but you're down to 3, and there is a lethal Street Wraith coming in next turn that is unblockable. Okay. What was this? A Surveil Land, okay. And I think that was an Ephemerate, which is a white card
Yes.
for the Solitude.
And he does have the other Ephemerate coming off of Rebound next turn.
Right. And that would be coming off on the upkeep, so won't be able to actually draw.
Yep.
All right, puts it into the graveyard here. I don't know that Maxime's going to run anything else out here. If he wanted to, he should have done it before attacks. Could have perhaps gotten more damage through.
Yeah, he's going to go to his upkeep. Ephemerate Rebound.
Yeah, I imagine this is going to target the Riddler here.
Yeah.
On the stack, we're going to be pitching some cards here, making a larger Psychic Frog. Get that up to a 3/4.
And more relevant cards in hand.
Right.
But what is he going to do? The Archaeologist seems easy, but
Right.
does the way he comes back involve a Goryo's
It might
Vengeance?
be. It might be the Goryo's Vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Gain you that life and just try to find an Atraxa, right? Gain you that 7 life and also just find a lot more action.
Exactly. Well, he ended
Oh.
up just getting the 1 card.
Oh. And he found a Gristlebrand here.
Oh,
So
really?
you can discard the Gristlebrand now, get Goryo's Vengeance down, and that would gain you 7 life. Now, you're in a precarious spot, though, because you might not even be able to actually draw the cards, because that would put you right back down to 3 life. But if you're digging and you're just trying to find, I mean, you do have the Solitude now, right? So you can Solitude, go up to 10, draw 7 cards, Solitude, maybe look for an Ephemerate, right? Get that off the battlefield here. And yeah, we're going to get things going here. Goryo's Vengeance.
And there it is.
Now, there is a Sink into Stupor here, but you can wait and just bounce the Gristlebrand and make it so that you can't gain any life with this.
You can see Maxime showing he's got 3 cards in hand
Right.
at the bottom.
So Zhi looking to attack, probably only attacking with the Gristlebrand here just because you want kind of the maximum number of blockers, I would guess. And certainly Maxime's going to cast Sink into Stupor here to just bounce the Gristlebrand.
He wants to know where it goes. if
Yeah,
he
like does it
bounces
get exiled or is there something along those lines?
Okay, there's sinking
There
to
it is.
Stupor.
Yeah, and this should get
Be
it done
gone.
here. This should get it done. Yeah.
And that is going to be it for game number 1. Maxime Rayvich picks it up, plays it very patiently, kind of waiting to the last second on all of his plays. But the namesake card got him across the line there.
Yeah. Now, that's the thing with the Living Index is you're probably like 65% game 1 against basically everything.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is what happens after sideboard once all that extra disruption comes in, especially the Esper Goryo's Vengeance deck where you have access to potentially going up to the full 4 copies of Consigned to Memory.
Yeah, what are the
Yeah, so there are 3. Yeah, so Zhi is going up to 4 Consigned to Memories and an additional Inquisition and an extra Thoughtseize.
Wow.
So that is a lot of relevant. Oh, and 2 copies of Teferi Time Raveler,
Really?
which works very, very well against the Cascade cards.
It shuts off Cascade.
So-
well, the Cascaded part doesn't happen.
Right.
They can't cast.
Your Shardless Agent would resolve, but
Right.
you wouldn't be able to play the Living End because you're trying to play a Sorcery at instant speed. So
Woo!
look at that.
All the consigns there off of that Floggy Archaeologist, but he'll take one.
Yeah, certainly, and especially on the play, right? It's safe. On the draw, it's a little scarier because if you play it on turn number 2 on the draw, your opponent can simply just play a Violent Outburst into a Living End there. So yeah, I mean, I feel like things swing significantly back onto Zhi's side of the battlefield here. It's one of those, Zhi might be ahead after sideboard, and you're just going to try to steal one of the 2 after winning the first.
Yeah, seems like a deck that's pretty vulnerable to a lot of the sideboard cards in the format. The
Yeah.
ones you said, I mean, any other type of graveyard hate's pretty good.
Yeah, and that's precisely why you're not seeing Living End represented as much as you would have expected once Violent Outburst was unbanned.
Okay.
Tons of people were trying it out, seeing how it would work, and there's just a lot of highly effective sideboard. Like, the thing is, Consign is just such a good card in the format where
Right.
just anybody with Island just kind of plays the full 4 copies after board, and this is one of those decks, of course, that gets kind of hit by that.
But then you also get hit by the graveyard hate for other decks. You're kind of
Yes, exactly.
in multiple crosshairs, I guess.
But it is the type of deck where you are pretty good game 1 against most decks, and very, very strong, especially against, for example, something like a Boros Energy deck where you just kind of kill all their creatures. Although they do have, I guess, 2 copies of Thraben Charm as a way to interact with you. So Maxime building out the graveyard here. Does have a Force of Negation here with some blue cards. But of course, Consign is a replicate spell, so kind of hard to fight a counter war there. As long as Zhi has multiple blue sources up. And no pressure just yet, but Zhi does have kind of that 1-2 punch of Quantum Riddler plus Ephemerate, but might not want to fire it off just yet, because of course that would completely tap you out.
Untapped Hallowed Fountain there for Zhi.
Okay, might just play an Archaeologist here. And then perhaps try to set up a Riddler next turn. Yep.
Yeah, you can see the...
Oh, and there's the Teferi.
wow.
You take that thing instantly, so now you can set up kind of the lock. If you can get Teferi onto the battlefield and also have Consigned to Memory next turn, it's going to be really difficult for Maxime.
Yeah, Maxime also not good at applying pressure to Planeswalkers, so that Teferi could just sit there for the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, you might get into one of those spots where you're going to just need to start hard casting
Yes.
cyclers,
Yes,
right? It's just
yeah.
like, hey, Curator of Mysteries, go.
Generous and your move. We've seen that, though. It
Yeah,
is the
it
primary
happens.
backup plan when
Right.
people are over-indexed, especially on graveyard removal, hate,
Right.
etc. They just kind of work their way up and start casting kind of these vastly underpowered for modern creatures, but they are huge. It's
Yeah,
also interesting
sure.
to see just how well a 5/7 lines up with the format. Like, it's bigger than everything.
Yeah.
A lot of the removal doesn't end up working on it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, definitely.
But we see Marsh Flats hit the battlefield here for Zhi, and looks like he's lining up Teferi Time Raveler. The key thing on Teferi, of course, is it says that you can't cast spells except for anytime you can cast a sorcery, and that means that those Cascade spells just simply cannot be cast.
And Zhi playing it slow here because Maxime passing with 3 mana up could also be representing his own Force of Negation, and of course he does have one in hand, so of course Maxime would fire that off to counter that Teferi Time Raveler. All right, a mini Violent Outburst here, just trying to get Oliphant and Generous End into play. It would kill the Philology Archaeologist, and Zhi going, well, I know you might be trying to bait me here, but I'm still going to counter this because I don't know that I can necessarily beat a 6/4 and a 5/7.
I was gonna say,
entering the battlefield. It doesn't take a lot.
Even a modest one like that's
Right.
pretty impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
it ultimately is 3 mana to get, I don't know how you want to kind of translate it for modern costs, right? You know, because these creatures cost 6, but like I don't know, you would pay in modern form 4
Right.
each or something, but I mean, it's a lot.
And Zhi choosing not to replicate here, and because he's casting it at the end of Zhi's turn, can cast that Force of Negation for free. So now Zhi might be forced to fire off the other consign here, or just let this resolve.
G does not like this.
Yeah.
But you just, I don't think you can let your opponent just
He
kill
does-
your 2 guys and get 2 big monsters.
Right, so he does go for the counter here. Now, he does have a Celestial Purge, which would deal with the Oliphant. So
Okay.
he would only be dealing with a singular Generosent, but Zhi does not want to fight on that axis. Another thing you can try to do is just ephemerate your Falaji Archaeologist and hope to just bin like a large creature.
Sure.
Right?
So Maxime
All right.
not able to push through there on that end step.
Yeah,
And
set it-
he's got another Generosent.
Setting up, and hey, I mean, this is going to work here, right? You get your land, you get the Generosent in the graveyard, you play Shardless Agent, and G doesn't have a way to deal with this one. So yeah, we might see an Ephemerate here on the Falaji Archaeologist to just try to hit in Atraxa if G still kept that game plan in after sideboard.
Yeah, I mean, something had to give, so that does get interesting. Here we go. Shardless Agent, and G can really only look on. He's had 3 different sideboard cards come out here with Teferi plus the 2 consigns. but
Right.
it hasn't quite been enough.
And now G has to make a difficult choice because he, of course, doesn't have a counter here and probably wishing that he replicated that consign on the first living end.
Yep.
All right. Can we hit a large monster here?
Oh,
No.
3
A
lands.
total miss.
Cascade.
And then he says, okay,
Right.
Cascade resolves.
Inevitable Betrayal.
Oh, was not a living end. And of course, this is the bribery effect, which you can, of course, also cast.
Inevitable
Betrayal.
Search target opponent's library for a
You can
creature
get an
card
Atraxa.
and put that card onto the battlefield. Under your
Right. I think
control.
I at least saw a Gristlebrand there.
Sweet backup plan.
Right. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was not a Gristlebrand. Yeah, I mean, if you're expecting your opponent to bring in Inevitable Betrayal,
What,
then
he's not just going to get a frog here, is he?
then look, he's got a Quantum Riddler lined up, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that's a disappointment.
Right?
That's not an Atraxa or a
It's-
Grizzlebrand.
Right.
Yimin Zhi.
Yeah, so Zhi basically turning into a full control deck after sideboard, not keeping in the Atraxa or the Gristlebrand here. So, hey, this is not as bad. I mean, Quantum Riddler is still obviously a good card here. So just gets a Quantum Riddler in play instead of, what, 15 power from the graveyard,
Exactly. You'll have to settle for 4 power and a card.
right?
6 power and a card.
Yeah, and G gets to Surveil here.
Oh, he did hit subtlety, though.
Oh,
So it
okay.
doesn't look like he has another blue card in
Right.
hand at the moment.
Yeah, so now we get to get a Surveil land, and then an Ephemerate still comes off here off a rebound, so you can still try to find some more action off of the Falaji Archaeologist.
Yeah, Quantum Riddler's annoying, but if I'm G, I'm like, that could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those spots where if you just only had living ends, it would have felt a lot better here, for sure. But Inevitable Betrayal is, it's one of those things, if they kept the big cards in, I mean, you can cascade into it, and also you can just suspend it if you expect the games to kind of go longer, too.
That is
Right.
a sweet card.
All right, here we go. Hits a Thoughtseize here as the non-creature spell. So certainly going to fire that off here.
And what is he going to find?
It's Endurance, Wistfulness, and Subtlety. So we're getting kind of to the point where Maxime can just start casting all these things.
These are very descriptive cards in hand here
Right.
from Maxime. Endurance, Wistfulness, and Subtlety. And he took Wistful.
G can play a Teferi now and just bounce the Quantum Riddler, right? And it just goes back to
Back
his
to
own
his hand.
Right. Okay, and this is the issue, right? When you board in the Inevitable Betrayal, I mean, obviously he would have preferred living end in that spot.
Definitely. He's way behind now.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, thanks. You just gave me my own Quantum Riddler back here. What am I going to do now? And Zhi knows his hand. It's Planeswalkers are difficult to get through, and it's not like the Shardless Agent can attack through these Archaeologists.
Yeah, he drew another copy of Wistfulness here.
It's
but-
a main phase subtlety here because of Teferi that's in play, and that's his only way to actually try to attack Teferi, but Zhi has the mana to just cast Quantum Riddler here, or just play Psychic Frog, and of course, that can also get in the way of the subtlety.
Yeah, especially with that graveyard. Holy smokes. Yeah, this is desperation time now for Maxime Rayvich.
Yeah, I mean, Zhi just...
Hard cast main phase subtlety go.
Right. I mean, this is just Zhi transforming into a full-on Esper control deck here after sideboard.
Yeah, and we got to see his library there, and
Yeah.
it is very much that.
Yeah.
And here is the
There's
Psychic Frog.
And then what else is he leaving up here?
He's got access to
Purge.
Celestial Purge. Oh, Draw Step Thoughtseize off of the Teferi +1 trigger.
Oh my goodness sakes.
So-
Let's go, Yimin Zhi.
This is also just, and you can't flash the Endurance in either. Taking the Wistfulness here, so Zhi taking full control of this game.
There's an Oliphant, and of course an Endurance there.
And in Endurance.
And he's not getting anything else.
Yeah, this is a really, really tough spot to be in. It's not like this type of deck has access to that much interaction either. The entire deck is about just putting creatures into your graveyard, trying to protect it with some counter magic. You're not really trying to play the fair game where you're bringing in ways to kill Psychic Frog. In fact, Living End is kind of your way to kill Psychic Frog.
Puts a land in off of Surveil.
Hardcast Endurance here, probably.
Main phase again, both flash
Yeah.
creatures, and both have to be put in right now, and they're not even doing anything.
G might exile some of these in response just to give the Psychic Frog flying for the turn. I imagine Maxime's looking to shuffle everything back in just to make it less likely for Psychic Frog to be able to have flying to block subtlety. But not this turn. This turn certainly has flying. And G doesn't want to draw more lands here, so he's actually exiling. It looks like he might be exiling some more lands here before the Endurance shuffles the rest of his graveyard into his library. It's like, what do I not want to draw? I'll exile those cards.
Right. The composition of his library is about to change,
Yeah.
and he gets to have some say in it.
So he draws 6 cards. So he lost. Yeah.
All right, so now everything gets shuffled back in.
These are all presumably cards that he wouldn't mind drawing.
Right. How many cards are in Xi's hand? 3 cards? Yeah, so Maxime can attack, and Maxime just certainly trying his best here, but a really, really tough spot here. Has another Psychic Frog, or of course, you can just hard cast Quantum Riddler in this spot, and there's not really too much Maxime can do. You have access to 2 flyers in play with that Teferi, so you can't even get Living Ended out here. Yep, and Zhi running out the Riddler here, and things just getting worse every single turn here for Maxime.
Yeah, these post-board games do look a lot different. Would be interesting to see if he had hit another Endurance.
Right, I mean, you're just playing irrelevant creatures at the moment here.
Looks like he is going to
Oh.
hit his own graveyard.
Yeah, shuffling his stuff back in, and she's going, okay, I need to eventually find a way to close this game out. I don't want it to go to time. So let's just kind of go through this. Second Quantum Riddler, Psychic Frog. Looks like he's going to, ooh, and he found Ephemerate. And with Teferi in play, it can't really get disrupted either. So going to kill your thing. Going to play the Solitude here. And I also have the Ephemerate here to flicker and just basically decimate your entire board if I want.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Teferi Time Raveler ticks ever upwards.
Right?
Has a healthy amount of loyalty and is just making
That seems
life
like double block,
extremely difficult.
maybe?
Wow.
Yeah, this is it.
And
All
he's
right.
just going to go ahead and scoop him up, and that's going to force a Game 3, a convincing Game 2 win for Yimin Zhi.
Yeah,
His
and
post boards are supposed to be better for him. and
Right.
It looked like it there.
now Maxime's on the play this time here, and Zhi is down to 6 cards.
Okay, this could get interesting.
Untap the Breeding Pool here, representing a cycle, a land cycle perhaps. And I do see a Violent Outburst in hand with 2 things to cycle. And a Singing the Stupor and Flare of Denial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thundering Falls.
Right. Fetching that out. Zhi has Thoughtseize and Teferi. The problem is you're on the draw, right? So if you
Right.
just try to cast Teferi, your opponent can then respond and then just get that Violent Outburst going.
I'll cycle. Yep.
Right, main phase cycling here.
Find the watches then. This one. I'll do it.
Okay.
Zero.
Surveil.
Does he find some big creature too?
Graveyard.
No, but it's a land that he doesn't
But yeah,
want.
but there's two things in the yard here and has Shardless Agent and Violent Outburst here.
And that's enough, right?
Yeah.
Just get those two creatures going here on turn 3.
Yeah, certainly, unless Zhi has Solitude plus Ephemerate to kind of deal with both creatures. But Zhi has a solid hand himself. Thoughtseize for interaction, Quantum Riddler Ephemerate, and that Teferi. Ooh, and a Force of Negation here as well.
Okay,
Right.
well, Thoughtseize from
Thoughtseize.
G.
Certainly going
And yikes.
to, yeah.
That is a rough hand to look at if you're in Yimin Zhi's seat.
Yeah. So this is one of those spots where if you do have a Force of Negation, you want to take the Violent Outburst and give them access to the Shardless Agent so that you can, because Shardless Agent is sorcery speed, you have to play it on your turn, and then you can Force of Negation the Living End if that happens. Yep, takes the Violent Outburst here, forcing Maxime to basically play at sorcery speed.
Yeah, and more importantly, as you mentioned, Paul, on his own turn.
Right. Okay, well, there is the sideboard card there as well in hand in Inevitable Betrayal.
I guess he could just suspend
You
that.
could
if he
suspend it
wanted.
if you want to kind of play it really slowly, but
He's
but
not under any pressure.
yeah, but Teferi Time Raveler also kind of stops that too.
Oh, sure.
Right. So
All
yeah,
right, he's going for it.
Maxime's just got to go for it here. Going to go for the Living End, and she sequencing this very well. Has that Force of Negation here for Living End.
And I suppose if you're Maxime, you're like, well, this is interesting.
Oh, it's not Living End.
No.
Okay. Well, I imagine anything is getting countered here.
Yeah. But if you're Maxime,
Right.
you're probably okay with this, right?
Right.
I mean, not happy about it, but
Sure.
he did have to exile a blue card there.
Right. And Shardless Agent still stays in play here, and Zhi does have a Teferi Time Raveler. Even if he plays it, there will be some pressure put onto that Teferi, right?
Yeah.
It won't be able to stay in play forever because the +1 is, it's just a +1, so it would go to 4 loyalty.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be returning Shardless Agent to your opponent's.
Right. I mean, it's kind of an interesting spot because you could have also considered just keeping the Riddler and exiling the Teferi so that you can go Riddler Ephemerate and just start drawing a bunch of cards. Instead, Zhi going to be leaning on this Teferi in hand.
Looks like he likes what he sees there. And it is
Teferi.
landed at Teferi.
Okay. That gets countered by the Flare. All right.
Flare of Denial.
Yeah, but no great follow-up here for Maxime, right? No, like if he was able to find a Cascade spell there, that would have been fantastic. But now we are simply just suspending Betrayal. Zhi probably thrilled with that because he can just run out the second copy of Teferi. By the way, he has 2 in the board.
And
Drew
he's
the
drawn
second copy.
Both?
Right. And if it resolves, I mean, it just kind of shuts off all of these suspend cards. So now, now Maxime doesn't even have a creature in play. Probably going to be going for that Wistfulness next turn.
Wow. Incredible stuff here from G. Post board making it very difficult for Maxime Rayvich. Does he have a land?
Certainly would need it here. Okay, that is an Endurance. So that is technically, that is certainly a creature here that can pressure the Teferi here. But G did find a Psychic Frog, but not a ton of cards in hand. Now, of course, G can just bounce the Endurance, right? Because it's going to take 3 damage anyways, and this just gives you more looks, right? So now you get to draw an extra card, try to find another Quantum Riddler. That would be great.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. But
I mean,
has
the graveyard gone's a little rough. But
right. Oh, but Zhi also has Solitude plus Ephemerate if he needs here. And that inevitable betrayal is just not going to do anything now that there's a Psychic Frog to block.
Wow.
Yeah, so
This second Teferi Time Raveler is brutal for Maxime Rayvich. Look what it shuts down. Everything.
Just the entire deck. Because Maxime basically has counter spells to try to fight a counter war. Can't do that anymore. And literally, it just shuts off the namesake of your deck.
Right. And even your backup plan
Right.
off of Suspend won't work either.
Yeah. So now, I mean, Maxime's on the, all right, I'm going to cast Wistfulness here. Try to find some cards and hope that that's good enough. But
Put out a big creature.
yeah, but given Zhi's hand, it's going to find you some cards, but that Betrayal's not going to work. Zhi has the Solitude here, and then he can just start drawing cards with that Psychic Frog in play.
I have 15 to 16? Yes. I'm 16 to 15. 16, 15.
Yeah.
Double checking life totals there from the judge, but
I guess Zhi,
frankly, this is not a super life total intensive.
so Zhi is going down to 0 cards here,
Okay.
right? He's just using everything, and now he has a Solitude and a Psychic Frog, but his board is incredible. Not going to cast a Rebound because of no other targets. Just looking for counter magic, Quantum Riddler, anything here. And after sideboard, everything is a legitimate disruptive element.
Absolutely. So he's going to go down to 0 cards, but only
Thoughtseize.
temporarily because he finds Thoughtseize.
Yeah. And has another Ephemerate here for the Solitude, too. Oh, he's going for the draw step Thoughtseize, of course,
That's right.
because you can't interact with it at all. Violent Outburst doesn't matter with Teferi in play. Dismember, probably the best card to take here, as it does kill the Psychic Frog.
And Maxime can't even cast it in response. He just
Right.
has no option here.
Yeah, Teferi completely taking over both games 2 and 3 here.
Main phase endurance now from Rayvich is going to take just the 1 card from Zhi, but Zhi looks like he's in very good shape here.
Yeah, we might just see Zhi going for Ephemerate again, just to get this endurance off the battlefield, just so you can attack with the Psychic Frog and draw more cards. I think he's considering holding it in case he draws maybe a Quantum Riddler off the top. Certainly a better Ephemerate target.
And you see Suspend resolves and nothing happens.
That's
because
right.
of Teferi.
Yep. Yeah. What a brutal
It's so
sideboard
rough.
package here. Zhi just brings in 7 10 out of 10s.
Right.
In the matchup.
I mean, Teferi, when it hits your main plan and your backup plan, like,
Right.
what is the deal?
It's like, all right, I'll what's funny is like you want to get maximum value off of the Ephemerate, but that was just Swords to Plowshares.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like-
I would call that close enough to maximum value.
Oh, is it turn 1? This is why she was trying to play faster. It looks, I mean, I see the
They're
die.
counting. There it is, Paul,
Oh, so
on the left-hand side of your screen.
Yeah,
Right.
my turn, but
Xi needs to close
They're
out
an
this
extra
game.
turns.
it was my end step.
Your end step.
My end step, yeah. Okay.
But he's got to get
Wow.
20 damage through here?
Yeah, so now you need to find, and he boarded out all the big creatures.
Right.
So he really needs to find Quantum Riddler, right? Just so you can
And then
draw a bunch of cards with Psychic Frog and use
Frog
that
gets
interaction to
huge.
win.
Yeah, he's going to
Yeah.
start going straight away. That's
Discarding Prismatic
5.
Ending.
15.
15. Is this turn 1?
Yes. Or actually, I don't
No,
know.
no, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Okay. The die threw us off there.
That might have been 0, and now this is 1. That's what it
Okay.
was, Paul.
So Xi has 2 turns to win.
He's got to get 15 more damage across.
And Maxime can certainly try and stay alive here. You can just sink into Stupor and just bounce the Psychic Frog, right? And Xi drew Solitude, can't cast it here, only on 4 mana. Kind of has to do it. I think Maxime's wondering, should I wait till next turn? But I feel like you just need to use all your mana every turn if you can. And while a draw is certainly not ideal for both players, it does mean that if you win out, you are locked for the top 8. So yeah, bouncing the Psychic Frog here, and this, I mean, this is going to make it extra tough here. Xi knows that if this game would go on for a few more turns, he's got it locked up. But don't think he's going to have the time here to close it out here.
So how bad or not bad is a draw for these players?
I mean, certainly getting to 10 wins and giving yourself, the opportunity to guarantee
Right.
that slot into the top 8 would be huge, right? Because if you get to 12 wins before round 16, you're locked. But otherwise, you're going to have now at 9-3-1, you're going to have to win out basically the next 3 rounds. That would lock the top 8, but you have to go 3-0.
And that means that
Whereas-
both of them would be in that position.
Right. Whereas if you're 10-3, you can win 2 of the next 3 matches to give yourself a good shot at top 8.
Yeah, I just don't see how it's going to happen.
Yeah. Generous Ent.
Oh, and he cast Generous Ent too.
Right.
And that's food token plus a
Right.
blocker.
You can bounce it with the Teferi here, of course.
Right, but these are
Yeah.
just more speed bumps for Zhi, and he just is not
Right.
going to be able. This is turn 4. He has to win this turn right now.
And I think this is once again one of those like, hey, what do we want to do?
You know the I'm
Guys, you know how it works. So be mindful of what you see.
Yeah, I'm not just saying.
Yeah,
'cause-
yeah, I'm just here to
I'm just
prevent.
asking, because my, I know what's going on, so it's very important for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Yeah.
basically,
Pay out.
Zhi said, I feel that if this game were to continue, that I
Right.
would win. Would you like to concede? And Rayvich said, I'm sorry, no.
Yeah,
Which is completely within his right.
completely fine.
He's under no obligation, neither
course.
player
There
is.
are 7
Yeah.
extra turns. That's normal. Like I could win the next turn.
And this is an
Are there any
interesting
7 turns?
part of
No,
our
no,
game.
I
it's
use
5 turns.
It's
Yes.
only 5 turns.
Yes, usually
Which
we have
is-
2 turns if there's a slow
The
play.
judge was like, just be careful with your wording.
Yes.
And
you
she is
can-
like, am I allowed to say I would
Yeah,
win the
just
next turn, or
communicate.
I think
Right.
I'm going to win the next turn?
Yeah, you got to be very, very careful here. And I think
In the normal games,
we all
I
know
could
what
finish
G's trying to say
Plus
here.
we're
Right.
communicating about the different stuff.
Yes,
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Maxime just said, sorry, no.
Yeah.
So these players will be 9-3-1
9-3-1.
with a draw here.
As you was very, very close, but once you board into an all-controlling deck and you're running out of time, it gets kind of rough. Given this situation, it might have been better to actually just try to keep those big creatures going into the 3rd game because you
Oh.
think you might not have the time to actually close it out.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah.
This is turn 4 of extra turns.
Turn 4, so I think it
will
starts
end after turn
right.
5.
It starts with bouncing the Generous Ent with the Teferi to draw a card. Looks like he's thinning out his deck first with the land.
Yeah, you can see Zhi shake his head. I mean, he has to somehow get the Ent out of the way and then hit for 12.
Yeah, that's going to be
It's just not a
kind of
thing
tough.
here.
Does it involve drawing Quantum Riddler with Ephemerate?
Right.
Just cutting down to 1 card.
Well, he just put Ephemerate in the
That's
bin.
the 3rd Ephemerate, too. Okay, so now you draw a card, and it has to be Riddler. Yep.
And
yep.
he just doesn't have enough,
Yeah.
so they're just going to shake hands, and it's going to be a draw for both players.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because if you're on Maxime's side here,
Yeah,
if you concede in that spot and pick up your 4th loss, even if he wins the next 3 matches, he'll be at 12-4. But since he doesn't guarantee the slot because he gets it before the 16th round, what that means is there might be a scrum, right? We always see that in the last round. There might be a scrum where there's a bunch of players at 12 wins. He could get 9th. He could get 10th. But at X3-1, if he wins the next 3 rounds, he's going to be locked for the top 8. So in that spot, it's just tough. I know he looked like he was going to lose in that spot, but we're playing for the top 8. Potential shots at the World Championship, you just can't concede. in
No, that was
spot.
just a draw. And that's exactly how it ended up for our 2 players, unfortunately, but they will continue to battle on. We're going to take a short break here from Amsterdam, take a look at the scenes from MagicCon. We'll be back with more right after this. And welcome back to coverage here of Pro Tour Marvel Superheroes. We're in Amsterdam, Netherlands, and it's beautiful here, as you can see from that city shot. A lot going on inside, too. Look at all those people playing Magic at the MagicCon. It is a wonderful celebration of our game happening here. 17,000 people roaming around, enjoying the game however they see fit. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe. That's Paul Cheon. Thank you so much for joining us. Paul, really going to put you to the test this round. Take a look at this. Rasmus Enegren versus HungYI.
Don't worry, Marshall. I know how.
Song of Creation.
Don't worry, Marshall. I know how the Is It Affinity deck works.
Yes, okay, good.
Yeah,
All
just if
right,
you were
then you
wondering.
passed the test.
There
Now,
you go.
our players coming in are both on an 8-4 record, and that is right up against the wall. A loss from this point out, more or less, eliminates you from any ideas of a top 8, but a win means maybe you get to keep playing.
You get to win out, and of course, getting the 10 wins also gets you a qualification to the next Pro Tour. So every match still very, very important here. Rasmus with a nice brew here in a Song of Creation combo deck here. This deck looks nice.
7 cards in the Game 3 decider as we join this match for Enegren. He's on 6.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's got a bit of a start here, doesn't he?
Yeah, it looks like only one 0-mana artifact here off of the Pinnacle Emissary, so just the 1/1.
He warped the Pinnacle Emissary, then played Mistress Bauble, got himself the 1/1.
Yeah, and it looks like that is all that he has in play.
Yeah, he'll get his card as well.
And what does Rasmus have? 1-drop Tameo, maybe? Oh, a repeal on the token, shutting off some of the improvised stuff. And hey, look, 1 mana, kill your token, draw a card. That's great.
That is awesome.
Repeal is not a card that you see that often, but of course, this is a combo deck. It's got a ton of 0-mana artifacts, and with Repeal, it's a 1-mana way to just like pick up those artifacts and draw cards. And sometimes you get to pick something off. Okay, slow hand here, slow start here from you. Could be representing Metallic Rebuke. And Rasmus not using the bubble here. And here comes, that's right, Bruce Banner.
Yes.
Great card, and of course limited. Maybe we'll see a copy in the top 8. We might, but take a look here. The reason why this is in the deck is it is a legendary creature for the 4 copies of Mox Amber that are in the deck. So you have, of course, 4 copies of Tameo, which is a much stronger card, but then you need more legends. You need to hit a critical mass of legends to be able to generate mana off of your Moxen. So there you go. Bruce Banner in play. Did not think we would see that in the modern portion of the event.
Definitely not. It's kind of funny to see.
All right, and here comes Mox Opal.
Opal.
We're 1 artifact away from getting Metalcraft. There is an engineered explosive, so Mox Opal is online.
And a land.
Okay.
Sacrifice Misty.
This is great. Hey, you know what you can do here, Marshall?
No, I don't, actually. I have no idea.
Draw 2 cards off Bruce Banner.
Okay, yeah. I like that. I like that. That part I do know. I'm in.
You have to do it at sorcery speed, though.
You do. Yeah, that is a requirement. Namesake card, Song of Creation, 1 blue, green, red enchantment. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever you cast a spell, draw 2 cards. At the beginning of your end step, discard your hand.
Yeah, so you can absolutely go crazy in this deck.
But it's
with
just
Song
like
of Creation.
it's just on your turn.
Right.
That's the thing.
On your turn, and then you have all the 0-mana plays, right? So you get to basically draw your whole deck, and then you have a bunch of Mox Ambers and Mox Opals, which can also generate you mana. And
So you do the thing where you tap it for mana, play another one, sack it,
Right.
tap it for mana. There are times when being legendary
And
is
there-
a benefit.
Right, and there is a singular copy of Endurance. So once you tap all your Ambers and Opals, and they cycle each other, and they draw your whole deck, you draw the Endurance, shuffle everything back in, right? And then you just keep playing things over and over again. So basically, you can repeatedly draw your entire deck, netting mana in the process, and then find a way to kind of kill your opponent with a singular copy of Jace, Wielder of Mysteries.
Yeah, I see that. That's
So-
a win condition.
By the way,
in and
I
of
didn't piece
itself.
this together while looking at the deck list right now. Definitely didn't do that.
No,
No.
all that studying you did is finally paying
Yeah,
off.
there
here,
you go.
Paul. Yeah,
But hey-
Jace Wielder of Mysteries, if you can draw a card with no library, it's GG.
I mean, it's still awesome to see somebody at 8-4 with a deck that literally nobody else in the tournament's playing,
That is awesome.
right? just to kind of build your own deck. People probably have no idea what you're doing, right? And then just approaching the format at a different angle and finding a way to win.
I mean, you're the only one in the room that knows how to play this deck besides
Right,
Rasmus, I would
yeah.
say.
We have a little Discord group here.
Yeah.
We have a little one-on-one.
Song
I was
of
like, have you
Creation
considered
Discord?
Bruce Banner? It's been really good for me in the draft.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
An innovation. Oh, that's a pithy needle. Okay.
A pithing needle and
Naming
weapons manufacturer.
Bruce Banner.
Seems that way, yeah.
And then weapons manufacturing. Still, you seems to have kind of won each of the different things, but
Right.
hasn't been able to really go off. All we've really seen synergy-wise is just the one token off of the emissary on turn 1.
Yeah, you really want something like a Kappa Cannoneer here just to provide some semblance of pressure. It hasn't been able to get enough permanence in play just yet. This is 4 mana, and there is a Galvanic Blast.
Which I guess doesn't do much.
I
at this
suppose you
point.
can just cast Pinnacle Emissary soon.
Yes.
Not quite there yet.
Well, that
Right.
could be good, though, for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely.
We see Urza's Saga is going to be going to 3 here. So what does that mean?
Well, could certainly make a construct if you wanted. And of course, in the sideboard, there is, a wide variety of cards that you can get here. Haywire Might, for example, would be a pretty effective card against the Affinity deck.
Looks like Rasmus is still deciding exactly what to do with the Saga.
Right. It's like, well, I mean, if you make a construct, it would be a 5/5, right? It becomes a 4/4, and then you just go fetch out whatever artifact you need here.
Right. But it does eat up a good chunk of your mana for the turn in case you had bigger, better things to do.
Yeah, bigger plans, but it's a little bit dicey to just try to run out a Song of Creation even if you have it, just because HungYI has been kind of representing counter magic for a large part of this game. But
Okay,
actually,
he did decide just to tap it for mana.
All right, so no construct here.
That 3 die will just disappear. All
right.
right.
Gets
Haywire
the
Might.
Haywire Might here. Has access to that
Probably
green mana.
pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
One of the things about Urza's Saga, one of the many, many things about why it's good is it does give you that kind of toolbox
Right.
where you can bring in cards like Haywire Might if they happen to be good. So again, that's the 1 mana floating there.
1 mana floating could just kill the Pithing Needle and then just start drawing cards with the Bruce Banner. That's another thing that you could do. HungYI has no pressure on the battlefield.
Right.
Yeah, so interesting turn here. Can't quite see Rasmus's hand.
Take 2 from Steam.
Right, take 2, so now has the ability to actually draw 2 cards and use the Haywire Might. Never mind.
Wow, Song of Creation, that is.
Song of Creation time.
Is this happening? It does. It
Okay.
resolves. Oh
It
my-
resolves. All
now
right.
what?
Floating, I need floating
You may
mana.
play an additional land.
May play an additional land. Does he have more
He
plays
needs to
here?
cast a spell.
Presumably he has more plays here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're getting those
the little,
ready.
The little mana counters
right.
have arrived.
Ox
And there it
Opal,
is.
here we
Mox
go.
Opal.
Right, draw 2. Can you find more spells?
And I guess those are land drops being measured.
Yeah, there's
There's
a
2
Mox
left.
Amber. Okay. Now you have access to...
Repeal it.
More
Oh,
cards.
More cards.
Yeah, and Repeal is a mana neutral play that draws you 5 cards with Song
What?
of Creation in play. 2 from two from casting Repeal, 2 from the Opal, and 1 from the cantrip.
That's insane.
Oh, look at this.
And another reveal for 0 mana.
So better than Ancestral
Wait
Recall.
a second.
1
0
mana.
mana?
It's a free draw 5.
I mean, you have to. That's incredible.
All right. I mean, I'm assuming Rasmus can win from this point.
If you can't, then you pick the wrong deck.
Here we go.
Make another green, play 6.
That is
Okay.
6.
Now,
6, and now you can start playing all those cards out of the graveyard and discard lands, right? Because it has the retrace. And here we go. And just shortcutting it by just untapping and tapping the Mox Opal that's already in play, saying that he's casting Mox Opals out of the graveyard. And now at this point, he can probably just, he's going to be drawing out his entire deck and get to that Jace Wielder of Mysteries.
this time I have the Jace left in the deck. It's not exiled, so
And you can
Yeah?
see that he's adding up blue mana each
Right?
time so that he can
now
cast
the
Jace
Jace is still
Wielder
in the deck,
Mysteries.
so new mocks.
Yeah, he's just
so
saying,
to-
as long as I didn't forget to board out my Jace.
Yeah, and he was announcing it is not boarded out.
Right. And if HungYI had a counterspell, that Song of Creation would have
1/6
definitely been
getting placed.
countered.
100%. Wow, this is absurd.
And if there's any type of counterspell here,
I wonder what Rasmus's record just in Modern is with this deck.
I believe he was undefeated.
What?
I think he was undefeated in Modern with this deck. And guess what? If everything goes according to plan, he's going to be undefeated here again. He's going to remain undefeated, rather. 2-4 in draft.
So he went 1 and 2 in both drafts, but is just running the tables.
That's
with
what
this
it looks
deck
like.
as the only player in the field on this deck.
Oh, this is absurd.
Well,
And
I got-
incredible.
Honestly, though, if he runs the tables and makes top 8, that's incredible.
Right.
Also, I have really bad news for you, Rasmus. This is the draft top 8.
Yeah, that's not going to be. You got to put this deck to the side here.
Yeah.
If HungYI kills the Jace here, Rasmus can just.
Oh, did he actually play the Jace?
He did, but that's but the thing
And
is.
there we go. That would be game.
Yeah.
Right there, trying to draw a card from your library with Jace Wielder Mysteries on the battlefield
Right.
is game, assuming that it's still on the
Right.
battlefield when the draw trigger resolves.
You has a Galvanic Blast, but it only deals 4 damage.
Right, and also
Right.
if he can have any instant speed thing, anything to respond with,
Yeah.
and that does it. Rasmus Enegren picks up the match.
Oh man.
2-1. What with Song of Creation?
Song of Creation, unbelievable. I'm trying to. I mean, first of all, awesome deck, right? Awesome
Dude,
deck. If you
so
could live the
sweet.
dream, go 2-4 in draft and just win every single Modern round with your home brew, that would just be absolutely incredible. I'm actually trying to figure out which deck I think is cooler because we also saw the Cosmogoyf deck
Yeah.
in the previous round, and they're both awesome.
No,
and
this
we
one's
both saw
better.
them win. This one's
is-
better.
You draw every card in
It's
your
just so
library.
convoluted, but
Like-
when you get it done, you just get to draw your entire deck. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Now I have to go home and dig through my boxes to see if I have Song of Creation in there somewhere.
Oh man.
Wow. Okay, a great finish there, and we'll keep an eye on him as he works his way through the rest of the tournament here. We're going to take a short break here from Amsterdam. When we come back, we'll be at the news desk. Don't go anywhere.